I want to show you how the custom checklist feature in SPEEDlabel can be super helpful. Here we have a job, looks like it's part 5 of the 8, and it's actually the middle section of a kitchen. It's the Taj Mahal quartzite. As most of you know, quartzite can be a really difficult material to work with. Fragile, chips, hard to cut. You can see we got a giant bump out going into that window with one piece, and then it's got a seam on both sides of the bump out. You can see there's a seam here and here, and that's all going to slide together. And so these measurements need to be really spot on. So the way the custom checklist can help us with that is, here we have things like clean the surface. Okay, that's a no-brainer, we can do that. Then the next one is feel the edge profile and make sure it's smooth and the bottom edge is not sharp. Okay, you know, and sometimes on the CNC or even when we're hand polishing, we'll miss some things. You can see over here we've got a top line and a bottom rail, so we need to go back and hit that. This job's a little unique in the sense that it's a DIY, which means we have a contractor that's picking up, so we can't make any adjustments, fix anything, touch anything up in the field, because once it leaves here, it's not coming back. So everything on this job's got to be tightly controlled in quality control, which is not always easy to do with things like Taj Mahal. So we've checked all the edges, make sure that the top and the bottom are done. Then we inspect the surface for scratches or pits. With Taj Mahal, it's not uncommon that you have little pitting or a little bit of scratches, things that we can fix very easily here in the shop. We've got a bunch of repair items, we've got a bunch of materials over here that we can go ahead and fix little things and mix, but we don't want to be doing that in the field, so we'd rather do that in the shop. So we inspect the surface, fix anything here that might have needed fixing. Really easy to do in the shop, really hard when it leaves the shop. The next thing it says, use a tape measure to check and circle measurements. So if this was an island, a quartz island, a big quartz island, and it was a ½ inch or a ¼ inch off, you probably would never even notice. But in this job in particular, there's really not any wiggle room for much variance. So we want to run a tape measure, and we want to check all those measurements and make sure that it's going to fit in there. There's no splash on this either, so there's no way to hide that. You see this says no backsplash on this job. That way there's not really any way to hide any imperfections in the field. And plus, we're not going to be installing it. So what we do here at our shop is we'll circle the measurement if it's spot on after we measure it. If a measurement is not exact, we might write plus an eighth or minus, you know, a 16th. So we all the key measurements, we're going to go ahead and write on there that we checked that. Okay. So then using a tape measure, we did that. We circled the measurements that were spot on. And then the last thing is you sign and date the sticker. If you really want to have quality control in your shop, you got to have accountability down to the individual level. So in this case, I'm going to sign my name on here, and I'm going to date it, right? And then I'm going to do that. Now everything on that list has been done. I know that this piece has been quality controlled, and that could end up saving a remake, hours for the installers, hours for the customer. All that right there. And this checklist, by the way, is custom for every fabricator. It comes preloaded with your SPEEDlabel, but you can modify what's important to you and your shop and what you're always working on and change it at any time. Okay, thanks.